Art is gold. And here's why: buying art tied to the people who visually shaped Afrobeats can quietly make you a dollar millionaire in a few years. Afrobeats didn't just go global, through sound. It went global through images, album covers, stage visuals, posters, photography, sculptures, and symbols that told the world what this culture looked like. Those original visual moments are finite. Once culture becomes global, the earliest artifacts becomes priceless. This has happened before. Jean-Michel Basquiat was once a street artist in New York. In the 1980s, his work sold for a few $1,000s. In 2017, one Basquiat painting sold for $110 million. Nothing changed about the painting. What changed was culture, recognition, and global demand. Afrobeats is now at that cultural inflection point. The genre generates billions of streams yearly, fills stadiums across Europe and America, and sits at the center of fashion, sports, global youth culture. Yet many of the artists who created visual identity of Afrobeats, the early cover designs, photography, illustration, sculptures, and stage visual artists are still massively undervalued. Here's the math. If you buy a strong Afrobeat era artwork today for $5,000 and it appreciates at a conservative 35 to 40% annually, in 5 years, that single piece becomes roughly $25,000 to $27,000. Buy four of those pieces and you're sitting on over $100,000 from, a $20,000 total investment. Scale that strategy or catch one major breakout and you move into the seven-figure territory. This is why the visual artist who painted or sculpted the piece matters less than the cultural moment the work represents. Collectors don't just buy art, they buy history, they buy firsts, they buy artifacts that defined an era. That's why Basquiat's work exploded. And that's why Afrobeat era art is next. The smart collectors are already moving. They look for original works tied to iconic albums, early tours, defining moments, and artists with verifiable links to Afrobeat's rise. They care about provenance, documentation and scarcity, because once global institutions and foreign collectors step in, prices don't climb slowly, they gap up. Culture always creates wealth for those who recognize it early. Afrobeats is no longer emerging, it's established. The next wealth transfer won't come from the music alone, but from owning the visual history that made it global. So, what do you think you should be doing right now? Come to the comments, okay?